Good morning and welcome everyone. Bonjour à tous et bienvenue. Je m'appelle Heather Smart et je suis la directrice de cette centre de recherche de fabrication de pointe et numérique à Brookside. My name is Heather Smart. I'm the director of the Brookside Center for Advanced Manufacturing here at Brookside. To begin, and I have the pleasure of serving as your MC. So to begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered on Treaty 1 territory and on the ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Anishinaabe, Dakota, Dene, and the homeland of the Red River Métis. And I would also like to acknowledge that much of our electricity comes from the Treaty 5 territory and our water from Treaty 3 territory at the Shoal Lake First Nation. It's wonderful to welcome you here to the National Research Council of Canada's Advanced Manufacturing Research Facility. We have an exciting announcement ahead of us, and we are pleased that the Honourable Eleanor Olszewski, Minister of Emergency Management and Community Resilience, and Minister responsible for PrairiesCan, is here to share those details with us. Just as a couple of housekeeping notes, everyone signed in at the front. And one of the things we had you sign off to was that you would adhere to any safety instructions, which I provide. So because this is a manufacturing facility, we have, if there's a case of emergency, we will usher everybody out back the way that you came, and there's a muster point inside just beyond in the parking lot. It's well noted. Please listen to NRC staff. So I'm here. Anyone with a Navy badge, they'll make themselves known to you if there's any kind of emergency. And then just in general, because it's manufacturing equipment, please stick to the wide aisles and don't touch any of the equipment. So that's the short notes on safety and security. And now just a little bit about the National Research Council. As stated in our name, we are a research entity. We're a federal sister to the PrairiesCan people. So we're really happy to host you here today. So the basics of the National Research Council is that we interact with academia, other government agencies, and industry partners to conduct research using the equipment that you see around you. These equipment are examples of advanced manufacturing technologies, and our research helps Canadian manufacturers commercialize new applications that can contribute to economic development locally and across Canada. So there's lots of other research centers across Canada. Here in Manitoba, we do advanced manufacturing. Okay, it is now my pleasure to welcome Dr. Doug A. Olson, Member of Parliament for Winnipeg West, to the podium to introduce Minister Olszewski.
All right, thank you. It's really a pleasure to be here this morning. It's a pleasure to welcome you to my riding of Winnipeg West as we recognize the vital role in Manitoba's manufacturing sector plays in driving growth and innovation. I also want to thank Heather Smart and the team here at the facility for hosting us today. Manitoba's manufacturing sector is central to Canada's economy. It creates jobs, drives technological advances, strengthens supply chains, and helps ensure our country remains competitive on the global stage. The success of Manitoba's manufacturers fuels prosperity, not only in our province, but across the nation. Today's event also highlights the importance of collaboration between government, industry, and local communities. By fostering innovation and supporting local businesses, we're building a stronger, more resilient Canadian economy for the future. It is also a great pleasure to welcome my colleague, Minister Eleanor Olszewski, who is here to share some exciting news for our local community in Winnipeg. As many of you know, Minister Olszewski was elected this year as the Member of Parliament for Edmonton Centre, and now serves as Canada's Minister for Emergency Management, Community Resilience, and Minister responsible for Prairies Economic Development Canada. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming to the podium Minister Olszewski for today's announcement of federal investment. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Bonjour à tous. Thank you, Doug, for that introduction. It's a total pleasure to be here this morning. It's such a good news morning. But before getting to my announcement, I want to recognize the urgencies that many Canadians are facing this summer here in Manitoba and elsewhere across the country. Wildfires have devastated communities, destroyed homes, and upended lives. These are really difficult times for a lot of people, and we've been here and ready to support. Canadian Armed Forces, as well as other types of emergency crews, have done an incredible job of helping people in need, and that includes our humanitarian workforce, people like the Red Cross, Team Turtle. And I had the good fortune yesterday to meet a number of those individuals. And I want to thank them so much for their work throughout this wildfire season. And I'm also thinking of those who are still sheltering in temporary lodgings. And they're hoping for some normalcy in their lives to return. And my heart is truly with them. Despite those challenges, Manitobans are moving forward. Innovators and manufacturers and entrepreneurs across this province are creating good jobs, and they're becoming globally competitive, and they're strengthening the communities that you call home. And it's interesting that the announcements today include a number of businesses in rural parts of Manitoba, because they're fundamentally important to the success of this province. This is my first announcement here in Winnipeg as the minister responsible for PrairiesCan, and I really couldn't think of a better place to talk about building one strong Canadian economy, not the least of which is because my grandmother and my aunt grew up in Winnipeg, so I remember visiting them many times, and I have a soft spot for Manitoba, and I'm really happy to be back. We're really, as you know, in a moment of global change, and with that comes risk, but also comes incredible opportunity. And our government has a clear plan, and we're focused on building a more prosperous and a more resilient Canadian economy that works for everyone. And that means helping every region, every part of this country reach its full potential. So we're investing in things that make businesses more competitive, that expand trade within Canada and also around the world, and that help businesses scale up and compete in new markets. And throughout my conversations with business leaders in this province and elsewhere across the prairies, I know that you're already doing those things. And as Minister for PrairiesCan, I want to support that great work that you're already doing. And that's really exactly what today's announcement is all about. Do you know, 1 out of every 10 jobs in Manitoba is a manufacturing job, and we're going to help increase that amount. So today, I have the pleasure to announce that our government, through PrairiesCan, is investing more than $21 million in 9 incredible and innovative projects that reflect a really forward-looking vision for Manitoba. The projects build on the region's strength in manufacturing, and they will deliver benefits for real people. I think these show our government's commitment and ongoing support for Manitoba innovators. Some examples of the investments that we've made that I'm announcing today include fiber manufacturing and they're scaling up to meet growing demand for innovative and efficient farm equipment. Security Glass, which is growing its flat glass production, again to strengthen domestic supply. Icon Technologies, who are expanding their RV component manufacturing to boost the economy and create jobs. And Schnell Industries, who've designed a fully electric grain transloader, which is really a clean tech game changer. In addition to that, I want to make mention of Decor Cabinets, Manitoba Organic Alliance Inc., Northquip Inc., and Prairie Faba Ltd., as well as UCO Robotics. And these are also recipients of the monies that we're announcing today. So these aren't just smart business moves, they're really strategic investments in Manitoba's future. And of course, if Manitoba does well, our Prairies region does well, and our country does well. So through PrairiesCan, we're really leveraging our regional strength to help small and medium-sized businesses become more productive. So to all those businesses and organizations that I mentioned this morning, I really look forward to seeing how these investments will push forward the growth of your amazing and creative ideas. And as your businesses grow, your communities will strengthen, great jobs will be created, and will help Manitobans build their futures right where they live. We'll make sure that Canada's economy is connected and that it's competitive, because we know that when Canadians come together, we build things that last. And I know that with Manitoba leading the way, the future will certainly be bright. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much, Minister Olszewski. Next, please join me in welcoming Derek Friesen, President of Fiber Manufacturing, to bring remarks.
So it's a real pleasure to be here this morning, and feeling a little underdressed, I'm sorry. Though I was in the field this morning teaching my 13 and 14-year-old boys how to service combines before I came here. So you're just be glad I'm not wearing Carhartt. Yeah, it's a real pleasure to be here, and thank you so much to everybody here at PrairiesCan, our honorable ministers, for joining us here today and to do this. A lot of you won't maybe know who Fiber is. I'll just really quick. We are an agriculture manufacturer that develops innovative products. We have a team that has allowed us to lead in our space in the sectors of the egg manufacturing industry. We have a very unique selling system, and we are always trying to find the edge between leading and bleeding. And there's a fine line there, and it is hard to know the difference sometimes, but that's kind of who we are. With the support of PrairiesCan, Fiber has been able to advance its manufacturing infrastructure in acquiring advanced manufacturing equipment for some in-house components for our growing market, both in Canada, the US, which is a bit complicated, and just this last year we opened up a place down in Australia to enter into new markets there. We're trying to shorten the supply chain and reducing reliance on some of our US suppliers, improve costing control, delivery timetables, and just quality assurance. Manufacturing these critical parts will really help us be competitive, especially with our selling system and what we can bring to the table. This initiative strengthens Fiber's position as a leader in Canadian egg manufacturing, enabling faster production, lower lead times, and higher quality control for its full product line, including our dash sprayer systems, some of our earth-moving equipment, and our new drone carrier technology. We have been, with this support, we are investing into plastics manufacturing bringing that north of the border. In fact, we'll have probably the largest rotomolder in Canada is coming as support of some of this and bringing all kinds of capabilities to Canadian, not just our own company, but to a number of others as well, that they can bring some of that production back to Canada because there is not suppliers currently here. So we're excited about that. We do a lot with 3D printing and some of our advanced manufacturing there, and there's some new technology we want to bring in there to make parts quicker, faster, and higher quality. We're also custom designing an energy capture and recycling system, putting this rotomolding and a welding shop together and reusing the heat that's a byproduct of one for another. And so it's quite a unique plant that we're building with all that in mind. These innovations have helped Fiber as a forward-thinking manufacturer committed to sustainability, efficiency, and continuous improvement. We want to thank PrairiesCan for the funding, and Fiber is hiring. We expect to hire more than 80 new positions in rural Manitoba. 20 of these roles will be highly skilled workers. The 20 of these roles will be highly skilled workers in engineering, robotics, and production. Probably an additional 60 jobs through our in-house training programs for production support. All major equipment purchases, including the built and in-training investments, to ensure our team members can grow with the technology. Training has always been a top priority for our leadership team, and we believe that we're building more than just machines and trying to take the human element into what we do. It is our deep honor to receive this support, and we want to thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Derek. I now have the pleasure of welcoming Haley Jeffries, co-founder of Prairie Fava, to bring remarks.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Prairie Fava, I want to express our gratitude to PrairiesCan for their incredible support. Today marks another important milestone of our company and for the future of sustainable agriculture here in Manitoba and across Canada. Building on work across the value chain since 2015, Prairie Fava is proud to be a Canadian expert in fava beans, from working with genetics at the farm gate to high-quality ingredients. Fava is a high-fiber, high-protein, and sustainable pulse crop that is becoming a star ingredient in an array of versatile products on shelf, from bakery to snacks to tofu. And being a star means increasing demand for our fava ingredients, demand which we have increasingly been able to meet with funding support. With PrairiesCan Business Scale-Up and Productivity Funding, we have been able to significantly expand our dehelling and processing capacity. This investment has allowed us to optimize our technology, grow contracted fava acres across the prairies, and create new jobs in rural Manitoba. This is an investment not just in Prairie Fava, but in the farmers we work with, the food innovators we supply, and the growing protein marketplace that values Canadian quality and sustainability. This funding builds on previous in 2022 BSP support and an earlier 2019 grant for the Women Entrepreneurship Strategy. That $100,000 is a non-repayable funding came at a crucial time in our growth journey. As a woman-led company, this has helped us strengthen our foundation, overcome the early challenges of introducing new ingredients to the market, and gave us the confidence to scale our vision. With this new support from BSP, we continue leading innovation in fava while delivering economic benefits to prairie farmers and contributing to Canada's reputation as a leader in agri-food. We are so grateful for PrairiesCan and your amazing local team for believing in our vision and investing in our future. Your support ensures the small rural-based company like Prairie Fava can compete on a global stage while staying rooted in our local community. And to all our partners, farmers, and customers, thank you for growing in this journey with us. Together, we are proving that from the prairies, we can feed the future.